I had no idea what to read, but because I'm at a bookstore, the first thing I thought is I should read a poem that I wrote at my last show in Chicago before I moved. And anybody who has seen my library, Tom, you saw my library. I have a paperback jacket that is put in the library. I wore that jacket when I read this poem.
Okay.
Which I don't have my paper jacket on me, but this one is called Open Book.
Okay.
I've put on my jacket. I've set about my work. It's the same thing day after day. I do my work and everything feels heavier. I don't know what is wrong with me. I'm not sick, but I know I'm not well. And I know there's got to be something I can do about this. It's become so desperate that I inject medication in me to try to make the pain go away. And I continue to work. And the weight grows stronger. Now I know my soul. I keep things hidden, but I'm otherwise an open book. I've worn my heart on my sleeve, and even keep a tissue when the weight was too strong. My book fills libraries. It's a never-ending epic. And I look through the pages. I look deep inside of me. I scan the pages. I scour the text. And for the life of me, I can't find what ails me. And as I said, I'm an open book. So someone should be able to break the code of me and figure me out once and for all. And all I get are blank stares. No one else seems to have the answers. So I continue my work until I realize that my jacket, my book jacket, that this open book becomes the burden. Not because of what I write, but because the answers may be buried so deep in the reams of written word that no one will be able to unlock the key to figure out what is truly me. And that's why I have a paperback jacket. And when he saw it, he's like, "Hey, you want to wear a paperback jacket? Paperback jacket?" Yeah, we were doing that before my show, but we're sorry.
I missed it because I had moved down here already.
And so he actually brought it along with and with this. So I'm like, I have to keep it now. That he's like carried it and brought it down and wrapped it up and everything and brought it to Texas. So this is something that I thought of briefly because it talked about homelessness briefly in it. And we were talking this earlier on that one. And this is a lengthy one about what people are really like. And this is called The Key to Survival. Have you ever seen someone who has a flock of people around them? And that someone is just naturally talking, but people are attracted to them like moths to a flame. People are there like sun-tanning high school girls, facing this person's bright light, wanting to soak them in and hoping they're more beautiful for it. You see these people, everyone smiling, circled around this special someone. It's like animal magnetism. You can't help but try to nudge in to hear their words and try to get a little of that narcotic for yourself. It's like being a child again with a ton of kids at a candy store when someone's giving out free candy and all the kids are so thrilled and they're grinning from ear to ear. You haven't even gotten close enough to hear their words, but you're already starting to smile. Have Have you ever seen someone standing at the corner of an intersection? They look dirty and disheveled, and you try to keep your distance because you're guessing they're homeless and asking for money, and so you have to pass them though, and they're right on the street in your way, so you try to walk on the furthest side edge of the sidewalk, but you catch them with your peripheral vision, and you see them making animated gestures, and you see their face contorting like they're having a great debate with no one, like they're giving the speech of a lifetime to no one. Because you see, no one wants to listen. Everyone knows this is a madman ranting, and you just try to ignore them. You make a point to not listen. I mean, there are a hell of a lot of noises that we tune out of our mind. Cars going by, honking their horns, the low rumble of people talking nearby, the shuffle of your own footsteps. Well, this is another one of those noises. Don't try to listen to them. You don't want to hear them. You have a bad feeling about them as soon as you saw them. So just ignore them, and hopefully you'll all get away. I knew a woman who went on a date with a friend of mine, and after the date, he talked about how great she was. He told me that they talked about their future and what they both wanted. He described the inside of her place, but then he left messages for her repeatedly, and she never called him back again. Saw the woman weeks later at a Starbucks. She said she felt bad she'd been avoiding him, but she never wanted to see him again. Because during their date, they never talked about what they wanted. He just talked about what he wanted. Like how she wouldn't need to get a job, she could stay at home, take care of the house, and he even told her how many of his children she would bear. She wouldn't let him into her house. Does that mean that he was looking through her window? And she said that after the date, she showered for hours because she felt mentally raped. Poor girl. She saw someone who seemed nice, but it took only a short while to know what he was really like. Sometimes you look at people and you just know. Sometimes it takes you a little while, but people can't hide their souls forever. Everyone gets feelings about someone whether or not they want to admit it. It's not women's intuition. Men feel it too. You feel it in your chest when you see someone good, or you get this feeling in the pit of your stomach when someone is bad. Sometimes you look at people and you just know. You could have tried to avoid that feeling you get. You could try to shrug it off as nothing. You could try to run away from that feeling for years, but you can't hide from your soul forever. It'll catch up to you when you least expect it.
Yeah!
So I'm going to end with a shorter, funnier one, I guess. It's called Universe, now in color.
Whoa!
You're like, I have no idea what to do with this. Neither do I.
Go psychedelic.
Yeah, go psychedelic. Awesome.
Okay.
So I heard the NASA artist in residence talk about images you see from Hubble. And I've seen these telescope photos. The colors from galaxy clusters and nebula are mind-blowing. But they explain that when these images come in, they're all digital. A series of ones, a series of zeros, and there is no color in the images at all.
Wow.
I mean, astronauts describe outer space as an amazingly vast black void. I mean, so when these people get these data from these images, they have to imagine heat radiating from these objects. I mean, you know, red is hot, blue is cold. And I think about what looks best for the images. And I thought, But you know, this cluster looks perfect and pink. And I think this galaxy should really be red. This gamma ray burst would be great in green. These clouds around this orange nebula are better in blue. Let's even throw these planetary rings in green and in purple. I mean, this is what they do?
Yeah.
Oh, Hubble takes pictures of objects in space with different filters to capture light rays the human eye can't see. So when we get this final full-color images from Hubble, they are nothing like what humans really see and what the universe actually is.
Wow.
I know these images in outer space are beautiful, but I didn't know they'd literally be an art form. Outer space. Abstract art. Maybe astronauts and astronomy is actually existential art.